Hi you guys, it is Nay Ariane and I am back again with another video today. In today's video, I am going to be talking about common side effects that you experience on the GLP-1, specifically Tirzepatide, because I was on Tirzepatide for 4 months, which I have talked about in my previous videos, specifically talking about the common side effects that I experienced, some side effects that subsided, just how to manage those side effects when you're on a GLP-1, and when to kind of be alert about any severe side effects that you should be mindful of. So if that is something that you're interested in learning about and knowing about, definitely stay tuned for the rest of this video. So some of the common side effects that you would experience just in general: nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, constipation, indigestion, stomach pain, fatigue, burping, belching, GERD, hair loss. Now, of course, there may be more, but those are super common that you hear a lot of people talk about. If you experienced any of those common ones that I listed, definitely feel free to comment below. So the side effects that I experienced, so I'm going to tell you which milligram I was on when I was experiencing it. Acid reflux and GERD. I already came into taking the medication with GERD. I noticed that when I started taking the 2.5 milligram that first month, I could tell that my GERD symptoms were coming back a little bit. It wasn't too severe, but it definitely was coming back. So it would just be that acid reflux, just very aggravated and irritated. And that again may not always be for everyone, because like I said, I already had it. Fatigue, I would say both. The 2.5 milligram and the 5 milligram only when I did the injection in my stomach. It seemed to only happen when I did the injection in my stomach. Why? I am not certain, but that was the case for me. Diarrhea started when I increased to 5 milligrams. So injection site reactions, I mostly got that when I did the injections in my thigh, which I will talk more about that in a second. And I feel that the bruises I mostly started to notice it when I increased it. When I was on a 2.5 milligram, but I remember the first month I did it on my stomach the whole entire time, and I didn't start switching it until later on down the line. But I noticed it more when I started the 5 milligram, when it would sting and it would get red, and I actually started to have a bruise every time I did it. Nausea, I experienced on both milligrams. Sore throat was when I was on the 2.5 milligrams. But I want to say I remember complaining about that the first week or two. That definitely went on around that time. What subsided. So the acid reflux I had mostly my first month on the 2.5 milligrams. I don't remember complaining about having it throughout the rest of the journey. So that typically subsided for me after a couple weeks, I want to say. Fatigue, I would say that subsides after a few days after taking the shot in my stomach. If I did not do this shot in my stomach, I typically didn't really have it. If I did it in my thigh, I had less side effects. So that was just my experience. So I noticed that when I started doing it more in my thigh, I'm like, let me switch it. It helped a ton with some of these side effects. The diarrhea, it subsided after the first week or two. I want to say going into the second week, I was pretty good. I didn't really have the diarrhea anymore. And again, that was the 5 milligrams where that started. I do talk about that in my blog after I increased on how I was experiencing that. And I was definitely keeping an eye on that. Severe side effects, this is something that I was just getting ready to get into as far as the sore throat. Severe side effect could be thyroid issues that could come about. The sore throat continues or gets just unbearable, or talk to your doctor. Bring it up to your doctor for sure, or whoever prescribed the medication, if it's your doctor or if it's through a telehealth company. Run that by them and they'll tell you if you need to stop. So consistent abdominal pain, I would say keep an eye on it if it's unbearable. If it's on your left side of your stomach that's painful, along with other symptoms that may come with that, you want to make sure you're watching out for signs for pancreatitis, because that is a common symptom or side effect with taking the GLP-1. I did forget to mention the constipation. That constipation stayed throughout the entire journey. It did not let up. Didn't matter which milligram. I do know like the second month that I was on the 2 milligrams, when I switched over to Empower Pharmacy, I didn't have it as bad, but then when I went to 5 milligram, it was a wrap. So managing common side effects. Eat smaller meals, frequent meals, but smaller. Maybe don't eat anything that's too heavy all at one time, especially because our digestive system is already, slowed down because of the medication. It slows down your digestive system, that your food is properly digesting in the first place. If you're having issues with that, you probably want to get like a digestive enzyme just to make sure everything is moving smoothly. Take some probiotics, drink a lot of water. Avoid any like greasy, spicy, or acidic food, especially if you're like me, that is a acid reflux girl. Probably try to stay away from those things. That is definitely not going to agree with your stomach if you have a weak stomach. Take a fiber supplement if needed. I'll put something on the screen. Stool softener if you're constipated, outside of just maybe even putting more fiber, like finding fiber whole foods or something like that to actually eat outside of a fiber supplement. Try eating protein before taking your shot if you're taking it during the day. I haven't personally done that, but I heard that it does help with lessening the side effects. And then for me, I always took my shot at nighttime to avoid feeling any of those side effects that may happen like that first couple hours. Helpful things that you could try out. So that is really all that I have for side effects, how to manage them, what warning signs to watch out for. There may be some that I forgot, but those are typically the ones that I experienced and that a lot of people have talked about. Again, if there are any side effects that you guys have experienced that I did not list, or things that you tried that worked that I did not list, make sure to comment below so that we could all support each other that are on a GLP-1 or not currently on a GLP-1, but definitely have some experience and some tips to provide to help people that are looking to be successful on this medication. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video.